Oobleck is made out of cornstarch, Speisestärke, and water. That's it. So we're gonna start by pouring our cornstarch into our measuring cup. Now, you wanna have 1 cup of cornstarch, or you could put in less, or you could put in more, whatever you have available and your parents say is okay to use. I'm gonna put in a little less than 1 cup of cornstarch. Now, if you touch the cornstarch, you might notice that it feels soft. You might also hear it makes a squeaky sound when you rub your fingers together. You might like that sound, you might not like that sound. So, I'm gonna pour my little less than a cup, or a little less than 200 milliliters into my bowl. Ooh, did you see that powder rise? Now, if you put in a whole cup, 236 milliliters of cornstarch, you want to put in half the water. So half a cup of water, or 100 milliliters of water. So as we mix it, you can use the measurements, you can also play with it. I'm gonna put in a little less water to start, and I'm gonna see what it does to the cornstarch. Because when I start to mix it with my hands, you can see that there's kind of this block here, but then you can also see that it's really goopy down there. So I'm gonna keep mixing it up and see if this is the consistency that I want. If it is, you can keep it the way that it is. Or you can continue to add more water and see what happens. And if it becomes too goopy for you, then you can just add more cornstarch. That's what's so cool about Ooblick, is that there is no way to make a mistake. So now that I have done this, I'm gonna take the camera and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. You ready? Okay, so here's what the cornstarch looks like. And now I'm gonna poke it. And do you see that I poke it and it looks really hard? How crazy is that? But then if I drip my fingers into it and I pull it up. Whoa! Check that out. The science of cornstarch and water. It's sort of hard. It comes off really easily if you take your goopy fingers and you stick it into the cornstarch and move them really fast. The cornstarch comes off. But if you take your finger and you dip it in and you grab some cornstarch, it will droop. It is very fun to play with, so I'm gonna leave you to it. I am going to do a little play with my cornstarch. If you'd like, you can add food coloring to it. You can also see what else might be fun to add to it. Maybe you want to try to use corks or jar tops to see how you can move and transport the oobleck within its bowl.